been been involved with the SIG now going on about 4.5 to 5 years, and got recruited by Tanya and Art Sherwood, former chairs of the SIG, and started it as a social committee co-chair. That is the entry point. So with that, whoever's up, go next. Richard?
Hi, everyone. I'm Richard Chan, currently associate professor at Stony Brook University. I got involved with this SIG last year as serving as a research chair and helping out with some event, and look forward for this another great year. Thanks.
Thank you, Richard.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lasagna Marshall. I know everyone looks at my name and they forget how you say it. I go by Liz, but it is lasagna, like the Italian dish. But I try not to say it during lunchtime. I am going into I think my third year in leadership with the SIG, but I've been part of it for 4 years, I think, 4 or 5 years. But I am past and current co-chair for outreach. And I am an update for those of you that know me. I will be, I just moved into a new role. So I'm now director of our entrepreneurship center on campus. So I'm still maintaining my faculty status. Thanks, Jean. Thanks, everyone. But I'm telling you, the negotiation was I cannot lose my faculty status. So I still do have that. So I'm looking forward to great opportunities to collaborate. And Oscar, your leadership and everything. I'm excited. So.
Excellent. Great. Welcome. Thank you for coming back.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kristen Burton. I'm an assistant professor at Purdue University Northwest. I am coming in, as Oscar did, as the social co-chair, and excited to be here. I've never had a role on a committee before in USASBE. I have probably been in USASBE now maybe about a year or two. So just excited to be here and get involved. Thank
you, Kristen. Looking forward to it.
And welcome. You're new. And I forgot to mention, I'm sorry, I'm at Seton Hill University, not Seton Hall. I'm out in Pittsburgh region. So.
Thank you, Liz.
Hey there, Kristen. I am Gina Simpson. I am clinical instructor of entrepreneurship at the University of Alabama. I have been in USASBE for 3 years now. And this is and I've been in the MWE SIG my whole 3 years that I've been a member of this organization. This is my second year to be in leadership. I know that Oscar said your place is the entry point, but the secretary really is. So this is my second year as secretary because I feel like this is the place where I can learn and help the most.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you, Gina. Dolores.
Hello, how are you? Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Well,
Happy New Year.
I have already seen you, but happy again, a Happy New Year. Well, this is, I'm Maria de los Dolores Gonzalez. Everyone call me Dolores or Lolis. Lolis is my nickname in Spanish. And well, this is my second year here in this wonderful group. Unfortunately, I couldn't go to North Carolina. I was doing all the exercise of the social meeting, but unfortunately, I couldn't go, but I'm here this year. Right now, I'm going to be supporting the research area. So there are many challenges to do. And well, I'm from Tec de Monterrey in Monterrey, Mexico. We are, my city is 2 hours driving to the border to US. So it's pretty near. And usually we just do go when we travel, we go to Texas. So we're very near to the US. So, and I've been to USASBE for a long time. I think the first time that I applied to be a member in 2007 or 2008, I was rejected because I was not American. And they said, unfortunately, we cannot allow you to be to be a member of this group because we are only from US. And then later on, I received another an email telling me, now you can be part of USASBE. We are accepting people from other countries. So I'm so happy to be part of this. And my dissertation, just to let you know, It's about was inspired by women, and my advisor was Candida Brosh and Patty Green from Babson, and my inspiration was to know why some women were not able to create business as innovative as men. I mean, innovative businesses. And then I was analyzing that, and well, yeah, I'll share with you the results, but it's interesting. That was my inspiration, and I believe that we have to provide a space for not only for women, for all the minorities, and to support them, and that's why I'm here. So thank you.
Thank you, Dolores. Welcome aboard. Stacy.
Hello. Am I creating feedback problems again?
You're good.
I'm good. Hi, everybody. How are you?
Good.
Hey, good, Stacy.
I know. Y'all need to be
Hey.
happy. We're excited to be here. It's 2022.
It took a second to unmute. It took a second to unmute, but we were smiling.
Okay. Good. We are so excited. I'm excited. What am I supposed to be doing, Oscar? Introducing myself?
Yeah, introduce yourself, a little background, getting involved in the SIG and the roles that you have today.
Okay. Well, hi, I'm Stacy Reynolds, and I am the chair-elect or vice chair or whatever title you call me. I just try to do what I can to support the SIG. I'm so excited to be part of this SIG in USASBE. I am the cohort of Sharonda Gibbs, who just got the Longnecker Award and was so instrumental in helping to convert the SIG at a certain time. So I've been kind of in the shadows for a long time. And I guess it was 2 years ago, Sharonda looked at me in the meeting and said, it's time for you to do something now. You can't keep just coming to the meeting. So I ended up doing the banquet, and then I was brought in as the vice chair elect. I guess that's kind of a pathway. But my background from a academic standpoint, I'm an engineer and a mathematician. That was my undergraduate. When I got out of engineering school, I worked for oil and gas for BP Amoco, hard hat, steel-toe boots. But they saw something in me, and they said they wanted me to be a salesperson. So I ended up doing technical sales for them. That brought me into business in a different way. We already had a family business, so we had the family business for many years. I helped start that. And so I just was wondering, I felt very blessed and grateful for what I was able to do. And I was hoping that I could help others kind of traverse it. And so, as Oscar would say, telling my story, listening to other stories, seeing I can contribute to make this a better place for women and minorities. And so my research interest is in social entrepreneurship and some other things, but my heart is for people that maybe not have other people to help them along the way about how to traverse in this wild, wild west world that we're in, the pioneering world, as they said from our last conference. So I'm just happy to be here and serve. I'm happy to be here and serve with you all. We've all worked together. I'm so excited about it. And I'm just praying that we get a chance to make a mark that makes Oscar proud for being our leader, and that hopefully that the pandemic will free it up so we can convene in ways that we would like to a little bit more. And I'm just very grateful and humbled to be in a position to work with such wonderful people. Thank you, Oscar.
Thank you, Stacy. And that was a great introduction and a segue perfectly for my thematic sort of overview. Helping folks traverse, those are your words, on their journey. We have a story to tell from the Minority and Women Entrepreneurship SIG that we need to continue to tell and lift up in bigger ways. at the conference, I had several opportunities to have discussions with leaders who have long been involved with the SIG, not only the SIG, but USASBE from a board level and leadership level. And one of the things that trended in those conversations was the whole discussion around resources around our subject and our work, whether it's research, whether it's networking around the work of lifting up minorities and women in the entrepreneurship space, and that there was a need for access to resources, right? Information, knowledge, connections, and that the SIG really has been doing that in its way, but we can actually take advantage of some of the new technologies that have been introduced to the association and allow us to create a space where we can share, right, virtually, maybe some form of landing page or some platform that we've been talking about for the past couple of years. That, to me, is the big sort of elephant in the room that we haven't totally addressed. And I'd like to see us address it this year, put our heads together and create that space where we have sort of this real-time ability to share not only amongst ourselves, but the broader community, anybody who wants to become a part of the community of the mission of minority and women entrepreneurship. So that's kind of my thematic overview of coming out of the conference and sort of trending my notes over the past couple of years of things we've done and things we wanted to do. That's the one area that we have still to do. And I'd like to see that happen this year. So with that, we've done our introductions. I'd like to just hear from folks in terms of last year, our framework. I'll just recap that briefly, and then we can have general discussions in terms of how we develop our calendar for the year. I think last year we had two sort of workshops or panels that we put together quarterly. Over the year, we did two of those, and then obviously we built toward the conference and the summit, and we had individual papers presented at the summit. Actually, Art, Meg, and I presented two papers, well, one paper, which we did as an exercise using true storytelling, the true storytelling framework in terms of restoring the classroom around the context of DEI. Getting to the truth of the classroom, that many entrepreneurship classrooms do not include discussion around women entrepreneurs or some of the challenges that women entrepreneurs have and or minorities, and that those discussions are largely not a part of the environment as educators that we're involved in. So that was a big exercise, and a highlight was that Heidi Neck came into our exercise, and as we were going through the exercise of having students, faculty help students identify the opportunity of looking at marginalized population or marginalized experiences as a part of their exploration of identifying an innovation or a venture opportunity was something new. And so she took away from that exercise that was something that she thought she could add to her classroom. I thought that was pretty exciting that Dr. Neck gave us that feedback. So those are some of the personal highlights that I had. And then obviously Stacy hosted the summit presentation that we did around ecosystems, entrepreneurship ecosystems, and Sharuk facilitated that as well. But Stacy pretty much drove that. Stacy, you want to give us a little highlights, and then we'll open it up based on the summit activity that we had at the conference in Raleigh, South Carolina, or North Carolina.
Yes, it was a wonderful day. USASBE did a wonderful job of hosting us in a building downtown, overseeing the city. Just a gorgeous environment. We had, of course, a keynote speech about, where we are in entrepreneurship education and inviting people in. It was very empowering, and a lot of information is out there. I think all of these things, for anybody that attended the conference, they're out there visible for you to go and look at. But there was a lot of key information that was given in that presentation. We also had Art and Meg and Oscar present about ecosystems as well. They did a phenomenal job explaining how we do this from a cultural standpoint, bringing in the new, accepting. Are we actually going to be able to accept the new culture using music as an example of how we do this? And we had some exercises that were very engaging. You really should go back and look at that as well. And we just ended the day with some people that were from different walks of life, VC people that are dealing at the system level and the ecosystem, and empowering us with different information. And Sharuk challenged us all to take all of this and to apply it and make a difference. And there were some key actions, increase your system, listen more, connect, look for the change, lean in. Those are some of the key themes that came out of the presentation. I'd be welcome to have anybody that was there share how they felt about it. But I think we got very, very warm remarks, and people did not leave. They were there, engaged the whole time, which is, a great.
Excellent. And we were fortunate to have sponsorship for that event by VentureWell, which was the first. And just to connect the dot to this whole evolution over the past year in terms of sponsor development that we started the year prior with Stacy and the conference we did. We had external sponsors start coming involved in the SIG beyond the direct selling education and foundation, which we've had for many years. We brought in City National Bank to help underwrite our annual banquet the year prior. And then this year we were able to add VentureWell to do the summit. And we're looking to continue to build that out. From that effort of building that type of participation, Sharuk was honored with one of the highest honors, the highest volunteer honor from the association for the work that we all did in the SIG under her leadership. And so those foundations have been laid, and part of the modeling that came out of that, which was recognized by Julie, the president and CEO of USASBE, was that he saw what we were doing in terms of our strategic planning and how we approached our calendars over the year as the model SIG. So we're considered the model SIG in terms of what we've developed as a format to conduct ourselves over the year, and what we've added each year in terms of adding the scholar participation, the sponsorships. Every year we've come up with thematically. So this year we're looking at the resourcing, how to integrate these resources in some singular way, network ourselves better in some singular way, not only for the membership, but maybe create an entry point for others to join the community around minority women entrepreneurship. And
Oscar, can I add that we had a special guest from the Coleman Foundation as part of our events, and she was very pleased and continued to reach out throughout the conference to both Oscar and myself about trying to connect with our SIG, Shelley.
Yeah, Shelley. And so that is a continuing formula that we're going to build out, which will allow us to look at programs, enriching programs that we normally would not have the resources, right? So now we can present programs to external sponsors and funders to collaborate with the support of headquarters, but they've accepted this model that we've introduced to the association as a SIG. So we're going to grow it from here. So with that, I want us to kind of go around and you know, give a recap of your journey this year, just in a few minutes. And our calendar, I think if we don't have that, Gina, it's pretty much going to be the same. I would like to propose the same calendar. If we don't have that, we can send it out shortly, but we have an established calendar where we do, you know, 2 panels or workshops a year. And then obviously we have the summit and we have the conference activity. The only thing I would add to whatever we do, let's try to bring it to a head around this resourcing issue. That's the one thing I want us to, you know, wrap our arms around and come up with a platform. I know I can go back to Julie and Stacey, and I can have that conversation in terms of the new technology that we have to see how we can use it, which I want to do, but I want us to brainstorm and come up with any thoughts we have of how to share, how to build a research repository, those types of things. Okay, so Richard, you want to start? Give us your thoughts.
Sure. So
Yeah.
it's have been wonderful learning experience for me in the past year. I was involved with a number of speaker events, and for this year, I certainly echo the thing for this year about building resources using different platforms. And I think what I can contribute is to focus on perhaps building some kind of maybe not data set, maybe a page of highlighting the most important, not the most important, perhaps the most relevant research articles, focusing on women, minority, or related issues for entrepreneurs. I know there have been a lot of research looking at how crowdfunding, for example, and how entrepreneurs could use crowdfunding as a platform to attenuate some of the traditional private equity funding issues for entrepreneurs, minority, female, etc. There are also a number of interesting articles in related areas. So perhaps I could help this year to work with Dolores on establishing such database.
Excellent. Thank you, Richard.
Can I ask a question real quick on what Richard just said? So you said I probably heard you through the idea that was brewing in my head about in industry, when we get to a year end, we usually make an infographic, which is a 1-pager that talks about all of our accomplishments from the year before, so that we have like a guiding post. Is that where you were heading with the 1-pager, the 1-sheeter you said? So maybe there's like a research part of it. Maybe there's like the workshops and summits and how many attendees or how much we grew membership. Have we ever done anything like that?
Oh, no, actually, I'm mainly thinking about building a research database. So anyone who are interested to learn more about how entrepreneurs, minority women entrepreneurs, how they can improve their performance, style performance, or funding success. It's more like a database for people who are interested in research or even its applications.
That's excellent. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Gina. Well, I'll add to that and then move to the next person. But one of the things that came up at the conference was really about things which Stacey hit on: the ecosystem in general. How do we optimize our knowledge or our creation or expansion of our ecosystem? So what role can we play as the SIG? So if we just take the 2 topics, the ecosystem, how can we use our resourcing to grow that, or to educate, or to bring people into our network as the ecosystem? The second part was in the classroom. In the classroom as educators, how can we bring the stories, bring the experiences and the resources associated with work and research, right? Research and exercises and techniques and tools that are related to the space of minority and women and DEI. So that was something, that was a theme that was going all through the conference, that people were looking for resources, they were looking for tools in this moment. This has really been going on for really the last couple of years, but it kind of peaked at the conference, that everybody's trying to do something different in this space, but they have a hard time identifying where to go to, where the go-tos are. And so it was identified that we're best suited as the SIG to kind of compile and organize a way for folks to get access to this resource. So that's great. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Gina. Who wants to go next?
I can go. Go ahead, Stacy, if you want to go.
No, I just want to add something to that for Richard, and to just kind of consider one thing that they tried to do before in the SIG was provide, as you said, like a database on research around our topic area, minorities, and as you said, and women. But maybe we can move it a step further and do a meta-analysis. Is it time for something like that? And then find a home, you know, in a journal, but we also have a repository. Would that be too much of a step forward?
Richard, you can respond.
I think that's interesting. Probably will take some time to work on it, but certainly the literature review would be a good start. And then we need to, people who are interested in this type of project will need to go into each articles and also developing a coding manual, so we calculate the effect size of different topics. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dolores, I'd like Dolores to chime in on that.
Well, I have a question in regards of the of what Stacy said. Is there a repository, a place where we can have access to previous research or what we have done in the research area?
I don't think that there's a place. I think that's what Richard's kind of referring to. And I just thought about it from the standpoint of what was said last year about people looking at us as a source, as a resource. Last year, it was around inclusion and dealing with the whole thing about the pandemic and all the issues that were going on in the popular press around conflict, you know. But we've had this question in the SIG for maybe like 6 years or more, right, Oscar? About us having information for scholars that want to research in certain areas, so they're not starting from ground zero. But if we're able to get a publication out of it as a scholar, we may be more willing to do the work to put that information together outside of just a database. That's what I was saying. But what we do have is we have experts that know stuff. Like we have Wendy and Art and Sharonda and all these other people that have been in the SIG a long time, and then friends of the SIG, just like Heidi Neck. They don't always come, but they're connected, and they could probably help us. Now I know a lot of the women's stuff is with the Diana Project, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we can look at something that they have and see if we can expound on it for minority women, or whether we can expound on it for minorities in general. It's just maybe a dialogue to see whether we can. Maybe we can't do all the work like Richard is saying, but maybe we can create a framework
I think
the scholars kind of pick up on. I'm sorry,
Right.
Richard, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think we can start with the literature review. At the same time, I noticed there's a trend recent years in research, and what people have been doing is they would do this type of mega project. So instead of involving 3 or 4 researchers, they actually will involve like 20, 30, 50, or up to hundreds of researchers to analyze certain or to understand a certain areas. So in the long run, maybe that's something we could do and leverage our our SIG member as well. So, but let me start with the literature review first to see what the meta-analysis have been done before, and if so, I know they have done meta-analysis on gender-related issue in crowdfunding context. There probably may be others, but let me take a deeper look and report back to the group.
What we can do is, I mean, as part of this new challenge, is to have a meeting, have meetings monthly to make a project about this, about doing, being part of a journal or try to connect with someone. The idea is to create during this year something from our group. So it's like, it can be publications or articles, and to have more attention, the media. I mean, we can do that also in LinkedIn, so people may know what we are doing. It's maybe not, I'm not sure we have only 1 year. I mean, it's not, and usually you want to run a publishing and doing is like 1.5 years, because you need to run everything before the year for doing all the work. But I mean, we can, what I can do is to call for extra sessions besides this one. And if you agree, if you want to come, and we can invite others that are really interested in doing research in this topic, and we can make a project. I mean, that's something that I would like to do. I would love to do.
That sounds perfect.
Great.
We can involve the scholars with it.
Yeah, we can involve Liz. I'm going to get Liz in and Christian.
Okay, well, it's kind of a segue just with for the outreach, because we're co-chairing it. Meg Weber, she sent her apology, she couldn't attend. She's doing a residency this weekend. One of the challenges or that we
Stacey, take over for a second. I'm pop out. I got painters here, so hold on 1 second.
Okay.
My painters. Go ahead. Stacey,
Okay.
take over for a second.
Okay. The challenge that we were looking at is being timely with getting information and at least developing a schedule where we are basically putting out a lot of information about what's happening. We were under the 8 ball or always a little bit late getting things out. And that's one of the areas that Meg and I have talked about how we can do better to come up with a schedule, some templates where we can provide that so that encourage everyone to submit information and just flood our social media and any other outlets that we have with information about what's happening with our SIG. So that just Stacey basically supports some of the things that you all just mentioned, because it's just people just need to know that we're here and that we're willing to do it. And I think that is something that we can definitely work on improving and especially identifying some activities to keep people engaged. Meg and I had some ideas that we want to see if we can bring to fruition about using our resources and our connections to do that. So of course, right now I'm blank on the organizations that we said we would work with, but we do know it's an area that we can improve upon to do that. So
that sounds great. So you're going to try to create a framework for us to communicate a little bit better and be regular with it, create engagement opportunities, and then network with other groups. That sounds like a great ecosystem you're building.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, who wants to go next?
Hi, this is Kristen. I kind of wanted to, just like Liz, I kind of had that same idea because I know that in my experience, when I came in, sometimes it's nice to just get an email once a member joins to say, hey, welcome. Here are our, LinkedIn, Facebook, and all these other social media sites, as well as here's the schedule of events. And I think that's what Liz was speaking to. So I kind of had that same idea, as well as maybe something during the conference where, we do something towards the end of the conference, but, maybe something towards the beginning where new members or people who aren't familiar with the SIG can come and kind of have some kind of reception instead of waiting to the end, so that they have people to network with throughout the conference. So that was another idea. And then the last one was for those who want to do research. I know we have the fellowship, but like myself, I'm not in the fellowship, but I still would like to do research with some of our members. How do we, like you said, using the resources, how do we connect with other members? So if there could be a way to connect with the other members to say, hey, you're doing, research on women and minorities. I'm doing research on women and minorities. Can we connect in some kind of way? I don't know a platform in which to do that. I just have the idea, so.
Oh, that's great. That's excellent. That's all those are needs that kind of fall in that whole resourcing bucket, resourcing/networking bucket that everybody's looking for. It's interesting that just like how Art and I got together on the papers that we've done already, which really was just a collaboration that came out of the SIG. We saw a intersection of topic in terms of research and using the platform of true storytelling that I had been involved in for many years with Dr. David Boji out of New Mexico State. And taking that methodology and applying it in an entrepreneurial space attracted Art, even though it was being applied in sort of a DEI application in general. It actually sort of segued into an application in the entrepreneurship classroom and the entrepreneurship ecosystem as a way to get folks engaged and embracing the cultural dynamics in the opportunity of a venture, right? Venture education, the opportunity of getting students to understand the value of intercultural and cross-cultural and multicultural communication, the market opportunities, the innovation opportunities that are created by just having more diverse experiences. So it's been an interesting thing to see that happen right out of the SIG. So I think, yeah, all of you are correct in your observations. The goal, I think, is what Dolores said, is to develop a framework that maybe goes in steps. And part of the steps, obviously, we have the meetings, but we should have some benchmarks that we establish that we want to achieve in this sort of strategic design of building out this resources. So we may achieve something this year, but it may be a multi-year project, right? So, and that's okay, but we'll have something to show this year, but it's not stopped. We want this to be the place, right? We want to be the source where folks come, because there really is not a source right now. So we're filling a much needed gap. And this can be collaborations not only within the SIG, but with individual institutions that you represent that can become partners, right? Become partners of this work and this repository of data, and a process to continue to have it updated over time. So that's really what the vision has been, that we've been collecting over the past years, that we need to fill that gap. There's a void. And I think we're best suited as the intersection of minority women and entrepreneurship exists. I think I don't know any other group that's really focused on it that way. So if we're all up for that, just say aye or raise your hand if you're good for going after that challenge. But that's really what I wanted to propose. So good, everybody's on board. And what we'll do is we need to have some follow-up discussion. Dolores, if you can kind of draft something, let's bounce it around, and then let's bring it back to the group as a whole in terms of just a timeline and some of the things that were expressed today. And we don't have to wait for the monthly meeting to share that. We can set up a thread to move things along faster. And then the second thing is we have our responsibility areas. I think, Gina, we can send out the links to the Google Doc that give everyone access to the basic artifacts for the organization in terms of your work, whether you are with the social chair or the outreach chairs. There's information already in there. We're just going to follow the framework we've already developed in terms of how we conduct our operations. And then you can put your spin on it, your unique touches, your magic on it for this year. But our timing, our calendaring should stay the same. We just need to identify new topics for the panels, but we should keep the same calendar targets that we have, and that will make everything manageable. Anything else? Gina, do we have anything else we need to resource or identify as a resource? Christian.
Do we know when new members join the SIG? Do we get notified?
We do have access. The leadership has access. Stacy and I have access to the database that updates. So yeah, we do get a notification that we track, and then we send communication out to the new members.
Okay.
But you're on the social chair, right? You're social chair. So between the outreach and the social chairs, really the social and the outreach really should communicate very closely together, because a lot of that is overlap. And Stacy, we may want to add Christian and or Liz. I think Meg is already on there. I think Meg already gets, do you get it, Liz? So Liz is on it too. So Christian could be added to that, but it gives us an update or ability to access as new members come on. So we do have access to that information. And you may want to develop a process between, the social activity and the outreach activity. I know Liz and Meg talked about doing some social related outreach events. So that's the collaboration between the two of you in your groups. So you can have those. You don't have to wait for our monthly meeting to have that communication and thread established, so that we just need to be informed about what we're doing and when it's going to happen, so that we can share it with the group as a whole. Anything else? Stacy?
I have a question. Besides the emails, do we have another way to connect? I mean, well, I use a lot of WhatsApp, but I'm not sure if we all use WhatsApp, or, I mean, to have a more.
Yeah, the association itself has just established a platform where we can connect all of us, just like LinkedIn. I don't know if everyone has got the invitation to that yet. I know I've got an invitation. Did you get one, Gina?
Yes, I believe we've connected. It really
is. Yeah,
we're
connected.
I have so many questions about this platform.
Yeah, it's new. So we need to get maybe we need to have a session, really. So let me reach out to headquarters and see if we can get a session just on introducing us to the platform, how to use the platform, all the benefits to the platform, and then just create a session just for our SIG and send out an invite for those who can make it to become oriented. But they did address this request from last year. So we do have that now. And we can communicate.
One question about the platform. The platform looks great. I mean, I love it. I love what it's doing. Mm-hmm. Does it have the ability it has groups up there, but when you go to group, it goes to like a different page. Is there ability to break off from this? And so we could have like a group discussion that is just our SIG. So you have like the whole organization looking at it, but is there a way to break off and have just
I'm not sure. I haven't navigated it yet. So I just got the invite and I just added myself. So that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna request that we have just an orientation to the whole platform, so that we can accelerate our getting familiar with it. And but that is really one of the things we've been asking for, and they did respond and create this for all the SIG. So we are moving at a very fast pace in terms of integration of new technologies that we didn't have available to us before. So I think hats off to the leadership for doing that. We're moving in the right direction. So, and that's where the resourcing becomes so powerful, that we have the opportunity. We have these platforms. We have tools that we have sponsors that we didn't have available before. We have sponsors who want to get involved. You know, I mean, this is the time to do the work that we're talking about. We're going to have a lot of support to get it done. So I'm excited about that. And so we got to thank our leadership, our past leadership, for getting us in the position that we're in now. But it's our turn. So let's do it. Anything else anyone wants to share or cover?
I do want to think about, and I really had not had this idea until like listening to Richard. How do you all feel about if we did produce some type of annual infographic that talks about the highlights from last year? And I say this and such, if we're really the model SIG, then nobody knows our story unless we tell our story. And I know you know that, Oscar, but that's one great way to tell it. But it's also a great tool to use in trying to go out and solicit sponsorships when they say, oh, look, they really are making a difference. We've done these in industry a lot, but with that, we could talk about membership growth. We could talk about the workshops and the attendance or how many people that we reached. And I'd be happy to help put that together. I'm just not sure where to tap into all the information that would want to go on there. If you guys are in favor of this.
Well, I think it's a good idea. I think we should do that anyway. The one thing we need to be cautious about is making sure that we coordinate with headquarters because they're doing things too. So like even for the sponsorship, you know, in the past we were going directly. Now every sponsor, you know, everyone we approach, and they're working with us, they're identifying based on, and we went to them. Brooke and I went to Julie and Brittany and had a presentation about these are the things we want to do. So we started that the year before. We went and went on our own and got sponsors. So, you know, we told Julie, hey, could you help us if we present the ask, right? And so she said, yeah, I can help you. I mean, you're the first one who asked, so I'll help you. And so whatever we do, we just need to make sure we collaborate and they know what we're doing, and you know, they'll give us guidance and support on that. But I think, yeah, anything we can do to tell our story, as you said, it's invaluable. So if you're willing to offer that, we have the information. A lot of the things are captured in terms of the statistics and what we're doing. It's all at the headquarters office. We just have to ask for it and figure out how we want to present it. And I think it's a great idea. Any other thoughts on Gina's
I think that's a great idea as well.
I think that's awesome. We can always use it whatever way we can. Once we get it done, we can use it in multiple ways.
So what I would suggest, Gina, is just with your experience and sort of just craft what you think a conceptual infographic would look like for us and share that with the group. And then we'll create the connection for the information with the headquarters. These are actions, and we're off and running. So we'll have something to tell our story better than ever. And that'll build on, like you said, the path that we've already created in terms of being the model. Anything else? Okay, we're going to stay on time. We're going to finish early.
We want to
Dolores.
continue with Friday meetings.
In regards of
good question
Gina
on the meetings,
Simpson,
yes. Go ahead.
and Gina's idea in regards of that, maybe if we create a Jamboard, we use Jamboard from Google, and everyone can add ideas to your idea, Gina, and we can create together. You know, it's going to be asynchronous. I mean, everyone gets into that part and can add what think it's important for the infographic, but I think would be great because all of us can participate and we can say, well, maybe it's an infographic, two faces. I mean, we can provide information on one side about what we're doing and on the other side about our numbers, you know, to have like something to like a selling tool for other groups. So we can say, oh, well, we used to be 3 members and right now we are 100 members. So it's like more like a selling, but we have information on both sides, because I think if we have only one page, it would be a lot of things that we have done And maybe we have a special space for our how can I say the people that is sponsors. So maybe we can have like a, well, I'm thinking about creating something together, but to have a tool where we can collaborate.
Sounds good.
If
But I'll
I
put
can help you, Gina, for anything,
Yeah.
I'll be happy. Okay.
Yep, anyone who wants to offer, contact Gina. Okay,
And y'all please do contact me this year. I feel like last year I was kind of getting my feet wet and I really had no idea what was going on. And that's the truth. I really didn't have any idea. The best way to find out what's going on is to jump in. So this year, as you guys need anything, please reach out to me more. I mean, it kind of went along. So I helped Sharuk with some stuff and Oscar with some stuff in these monthly meetings. But as you guys are doing things, if you need help from me, reach out and let me know, please. I don't know what you need if you don't ask me. So ask.
oh, ask is a big one. I love ask. Do that one every day. That's great. Okay, anything else to share? Stacy, got a few minutes.
I think we got a great framework. The only thing that I can maybe add to it is the ideas that you had, if you could summarize those ideas and get them out to the group, just so we don't lose it.
Well, we got a recording, so I'll go to the recording and pull out some. I did take some notes, so yeah, we'll recap it and it'll be available. Gina will send out the Google Docs so everybody has access to that. Anything else?
Are Friday
Okay.
meetings still good for everyone this year?
Yeah, that's the other. Everybody good? Last
This
Friday
time?
of the.
If so, I'll send the calendar invites. I'll go ahead and make it with the Zoom link. And if it is the same way that it was last year, then we end up meeting, I believe this is the third Friday of every month at 1 o'clock, except for the month of July. And then we took July off.
Yeah, let's stay with the same calendar.
Okay, I'll send that out.
Okay, fantastic. All right. Well, everyone, hey, have a great weekend. We're off to a great start in 2022. So I'm really excited. I think we're going to do some great work, and they're going to bring some new innovation to the SIG and the association that furthers our goals as a SIG. And I'm just excited everybody's on board and just as excited as I am. But I think it's going to be fun. I think it's I've really been impressed with the momentum of the group over the past few years. And when I first got involved and started looking at the various SIGs, I went around to all the SIGs at the conference, and it was kind of like, it's hard to get to know people at a large conference, and everybody kind of caucuses with who they know, and it was hard to get to know people. But when I came into the Minority and Women SIG, it wasn't that way. That's what got me going. And everybody was open, everybody communicated, and that was exciting. And that really got me involved in this association. I mean, I've been involved in many associations, and I'm involved in leadership of other large national associations, but this particular organization, and that's one of the things as the SIG that's focused on this area, that from an inclusion standpoint and an ethical standpoint, we are the rudder. We need to understand we are the rudder of the association. So we need to push the envelope, because that's part of our purpose and our mission. All right. So with that, we're on time. 11:59. Everyone take care.
Maybe we have to take a picture of the group.
Okay,
Oh,
there you
I
go.
got it.
Okay, do it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just who's gonna do that? Gina?
I got you.
Or I'll do. It's because I'm just changing my computer so we can be completed. I was in my phone. Okay, hold on. Just let me open mine and close the other one. And I close this.
Okay.
Okay, let me just. If you want to stop sharing, so.
Oh, I forgot I even
can...
was. It doesn't share on my screen because I got like 4 monitors here. So I forgot I was even screen sharing.
Yes,
Oh, like
hold
got
on. I'm
monitors
just
all around me.
okay. I'm gonna try this.
Mhm.
Sorry about jornada, but it's my from the university.
We lost you. I can't hear you.
She's still there though. Okay, you muted, or your voice, we lost your voice because she switched computers. Okay,
You look beautiful talking. We just can't understand what you're saying. And I can't read lips in Spanish. I wish I could.
we're working on it.
Thank you. I just finished that.
All right, thank you, Dolores. We couldn't hear you, but we could see you.
Yeah, I
It was
just
great.
changed and my microphone was off, but I'm right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Dolores, everyone have a great weekend, okay?
Bye.
Take
See you
care.
guys.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you,
bye.
Oscar. Stay
Bye.
safe. Bye.
Okay,
Bye.
Stacy.
Bye.
All right, Dolores.